Admiral Vexthar stood on the bridge of his massive warship, the Eternal Flame Asterisk. His scaled skin shimmered under the blue lights of the command center. Through the large window, he could see Earth, a small blue planet that looked so weak and helpless. Such a tiny world, he said to his second-in-command, and yet not in any of our star maps until now. The second-in-command, Captain Drez, nodded. Our scouts say they have only basic space travel, no faster-than-light ships, some nuclear weapons, but nothing that can harm our fleet. Vexthar smiled, showing his sharp teeth. The Draconian hegemony had conquered over 30 worlds in the last decade. Earth would be number 31. Prepare all ships for invasion, Vexthar ordered. Follow standard attack plan. Jam their communications first, then send in the first wave of soldiers. Behind the Eternal Flame Asterisk, 50 massive warships moved into position around Earth. Each one carried thousands of Draconian warriors, scaled, reptilian soldiers trained from birth to fight and conquer. On Earth, humans had no idea what was coming. The first sign of trouble came when all satellite communications suddenly stopped working. TV channels went dead. Internet connections failed. Phone calls dropped. Then the sky filled with strange lights. General Harriet Chen was eating dinner when the emergency call came through on the special military line. The only communication still working. "General, you need to see this," said the voice of her assistant. 20 minutes later, Chen stood in the underground command center of the United Earth Defense Council. On the large screen in front of her, she could see the alien ships entering Earth's atmosphere. "How many?" she asked quietly. "We count 50 major ships in orbit," replied Colonel Jackson, "and hundreds of smaller craft coming down now. They're landing in North America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Australia." Chen watched as the first videos came in from civilian phones. Giant ships with glowing engines hovered over major cities. Smaller craft landed in fields and streets. Tall, reptilian creatures in armor stepped out, carrying strange weapons. "Do we have any contact with them?" Chen asked. "They're broadcasting one message on all frequencies," Jackson said. He pressed a button, and a harsh voice filled the room. "People of Earth, you are now under the control of the Draconian hegemony. Surrender all military forces immediately. Resistance will result in destruction of your major cities. This is not negotiable." Chen looked at the room full of military officers. All looked back at her, waiting for orders. "What are our options?" she asked. "Conventional weapons won't penetrate their ship armor," said the weapons expert. "We could try nuclear missiles, but they might destroy our cities in response." Chen finished. "How long until they have control of major targets?" "At their current speed, 72 hours at most." Chen nodded slowly. "Then we have 72 hours to find a way to stop them." What she didn't know, what no one on Earth knew, was that in exactly 72 hours, the entire Draconian fleet would vanish without a trace. And the truth about humans would begin to be revealed. 3 days passed. The Draconian forces had taken control of major cities across Earth. Their large ships hovered above New York, Beijing, London, Moscow, and other important locations. Smaller ships landed in hundreds of places, bringing thousands of reptilian soldiers. General Chen looked at the latest reports in the underground command center. The situation was bad. Earth's armies had tried to fight back, but their weapons did little against the alien technology. Even fighter jets couldn't get close to the main ships because of invisible shields. "We've lost contact with our forces in Europe," said Colonel Jackson. His face showed no emotion, but his voice was tired. No one in the command center had slept much in 3 days. Chen was about to respond when a young officer ran into the room. "General, something strange is happening," the officer said, pointing at the main screen. Chen looked up. The screen showed a live video feed from Chicago. A Draconian ship was there, but something was wrong. The ship seemed to be flickering. "What am I looking at?" Chen asked. "It started 10 minutes ago," the officer explained. The alien ship keeps disappearing and reappearing. And now look. On the screen, the ship suddenly vanished completely. Did it use some kind of cloaking technology? Chen asked. No, ma'am. Our sensors show it's completely gone. And it's not just Chicago. We're getting reports from around the world. Alien ships are disappearing. More reports came in quickly. In Beijing, 3 Draconian ships vanished at the same time. In London, alien soldiers suddenly looked afraid and ran back to their ships before they too disappeared. This makes no sense, Chen said. Did we do something? Did someone else attack them? No one had answers. On the eternal flame in Earth's orbit, Admiral Vexthar was furious. What do you mean vanished? He shouted at his officers. 20,000 warriors don't just vanish. Sir, we've lost contact with all ground forces in the human territory called Asia, reported Captain Tres, and 18 of our ships are no longer responding. They're just gone. Gone where? Vexthar demanded. Unknown, sir. One moment they were there, the next moment our sensors couldn't find them. No explosion, no damage. They just disappeared. Vexthar had conquered many worlds, but never had he faced anything like this. For the first time in his long military career, he felt afraid. Something is wrong with this planet, he said quietly. Order all remaining forces to return to the ships. We will pull back and... He never finished his sentence. On the bridge of the eternal flame officers watched in horror as their admiral began to fade, becoming transparent like a ghost. Then he was gone. Panic spread through the fleet. More and more Draconians disappeared. Those who remained tried to flee, but it was too late. 8 hours after the first disappearance, the last Draconian ship vanished from Earth's orbit. On Earth, humans celebrated, but their joy was mixed with confusion. We won, Chen said to her officers, but I don't understand how or why. She didn't know that this was just the beginning. The truth about humans, truth hidden for thousands of years, was about to come to light. 3 months after the Draconian fleet disappeared, a new alien ship appeared near Earth. Unlike the aggressive Draconians, this ship sent a friendly message first. People of Earth, we come in peace. We are representatives of the Galactic Conclave, an alliance of peaceful space-traveling civilizations. We request permission to meet with your leaders. The ship was called the Truth Seeker and it carried visitors from 12 different alien species. The leader was Tel Naga, a tall blue-skinned being with 4 arms and wise ancient eyes. Earth's leaders agreed to meet the aliens on a space station quickly built for this purpose. General Chen was part of the human team sent to greet them. We welcome peaceful visitors, said President Adama, Earth's top leader. But we must warn you. We will defend ourselves against any threat. Zelnaga bowed respectfully. We understand. We come only to learn what happened to the Draconian fleet. They were the strongest military force in our part of the galaxy. Their disappearance is concerning. We don't know what happened to them, Chen admitted. They invaded, then 3 days later, they started vanishing. We thought maybe you would have answers. The aliens exchanged worried looks. You don't understand, said Lithala, a small green alien with large eyes. Nothing can defeat a Draconian fleet that size. Nothing we know of, anyway. 100,000 warriors and 50 warships don't just disappear. We need to investigate, Zelnaga said. With your permission, we would like to study what happened here. We need to understand if there's a new power or weapon that could threaten the peace of the galaxy. President Adama agreed, and for the next 2 weeks, the alien scientists studied Earth. They took samples of air, water, and soil. They interviewed humans who had seen the Draconians disappear. They examined the few pieces of alien technology left behind. What they found confused them even more. The Draconians didn't die or get destroyed. Zelnaga explained during a meeting with Earth's leaders. Our tests show they were moved, shifted to another dimension or place. But we don't see any technology on Earth that could do this. Lithala, who studied living things, made an even stranger discovery. There's something unusual about humans, she said, showing images of human DNA, the building blocks of life. Your DNA contains patterns that don't match natural evolution. It's like someone changed your genetic code thousands of years ago. Are you saying humans were engineered? Asked Chen, shocked. Yes, Lithala replied. And during the Draconian attack, these special parts of your DNA became active in many humans. We think there's a connection. Dr. Kwon, the team's physics expert, spoke next. The energy patterns we found matched the strange parts in your DNA. What if it wasn't a weapon that made the Draconians vanish? What if it was humans themselves? The room fell silent as everyone considered this impossible idea. If true, it meant humans were not what they had always believed themselves to be. They were something else, something created for a purpose no one understood. And they were just beginning to wake up. 2 weeks after the aliens revealed the strange parts in human DNA, more discoveries were made. The alien team worked day and night, trying to understand what made humans special. Zelnaga, the blue four-armed leader, called an important meeting with Earth's top scientists and leaders. We found something in old records, he said. Very old records from a civilization called the Arcturians. They mention beings called the progenitors who lived over 2 million years ago. What does this have to do with humans? Asked General Chen. The progenitors were said to create life on many planets, explained XL Naga. And according to these ancient records, they sometimes made special life forms for a purpose. Dr. Maya Williams, a human scientist working with the aliens, showed everyone a screen with strange symbols. These patterns in our DNA match symbols found in progenitor writings, she said. It can't be a coincidence. Lithala, the small green alien, stepped forward. We think the progenitors put something inside humans, not just regular DNA, but something more. Like what? President Adama asked. Like a door to another place, said Dr. Kwon. A way to connect to another dimension or reality. Most of the time, this door stays closed. But when humans were threatened by the Draconians, these doors began to open. Everyone in the room looked uncomfortable. The idea that humans carried something unknown inside them was scary. Are you saying we're not human? Asked Chen. You are human, Selnaga said kindly, but you're also something more. Think of it like a butterfly. First, it's a caterpillar. Then it makes a cocoon. Finally, it becomes something new, a butterfly. Humans might be in the cocoon stage. Dr. Williams showed more pictures on the screen. We've been testing people who were close to Draconians when they vanished. Their DNA shows more activity in the special sections, and they report strange dreams and new abilities. What kind of abilities? Asked President Adama. Some can move small objects without touching them. Others know things they shouldn't know. A few can even heal very quickly. As if to prove her point, Dr. Williams cut her finger with a paper. Everyone watched in shock as the cut closed and healed in seconds. It's happening to me too, she said quietly. I've been having dreams of stars I've never seen. And yesterday, I suddenly understood quantum physics even though I'm a biologist. Zelnaga looked worried. We found one more thing. The last message from the Draconian admiral before he vanished. He said, they're in our minds somehow. Not the humans we see, but something else behind their eyes. Something ancient. I think we've awakened something that was meant to stay sleeping. The room was silent as everyone thought about what this meant. Humans weren't just random beings on a small planet. They were carrying something inside them. Something powerful enough to make an entire alien fleet disappear. And now that something was waking up. In the month after the discovery of humanity's secret nature, strange things began happening all over Earth. People everywhere reported unusual dreams. Some woke up with knowledge they never learned. Others found they could do impossible things. In New York, a bus driver stopped a falling tree with just his thoughts. In Tokyo, a young girl predicted an earthquake hours before it happened. In Rio, an old man healed his neighbor's broken leg by touching it. Dr. Maya Williams kept careful records of all these events. As a scientist who was changing herself, she understood both the wonder and fear these changes caused. "It's happening faster than we expected," she told Naga and the other alien researchers. At first, only people who were near the Draconians were changing. Now it's spreading everywhere. Naga looked troubled. Some members of the Galactic Conclave are afraid. They want to quarantine Earth, cut it off from the rest of the galaxy. They fear what humans might become. "Are we dangerous?" Dr. Williams asked. "Power is always dangerous," Naga said. "But I believe this power was given to humans as a defense, not a weapon. The progenitors wouldn't create guardians just to destroy." General Chen joined their meeting, bringing new information. "We found something in Antarctica," she said. "Under the ice. It looks like a building or ship, but it's been there for at least 100,000 years." The alien team traveled with Chen to Antarctica. Deep under the ice, they found a large structure made of a metal no one recognized. Inside were strange machines and walls covered with the same symbols found in human DNA. "This is progenitor technology," Naga said with awe. "A place where they worked." In the center of the structure was a round room with a platform. Dr. Williams stepped onto it, and suddenly the whole room lit up. Symbols on the walls glowed, and a 3D image appeared above the platform, a map of the galaxy. "I can understand it," Williams said, surprised. This was a monitoring station. The progenitors were watching for something dangerous coming from the center of the galaxy. The image changed, showing a dark cloud moving through space, destroying stars as it passed. "They called it the darkness," Williams continued, somehow reading the ancient language. "It consumed civilizations. The progenitors fought it but couldn't destroy it completely. So they created guardians and placed them on many worlds to watch and wait." "Guardians," Chen repeated. "Humans." "Yes," Williams said. "We were made to look simple, to develop slowly. But inside us are beings of great power, entities that can fight the darkness if it returns." "And the Draconians?" Naga asked. Williams watched as the image changed again, showing reptilian creatures being infected by dark tendrils. "The Draconians were infected," she said sadly. "Their attack on Earth wasn't random. They were sent here by the darkness to destroy the Guardians before we could awaken." "But the Guardians woke up anyway," Chen said. "Yes," Williams nodded. "And now we're changing faster than we should. The timeline has been rushed." "What happens next?" Naga asked. Williams looked at the galaxy map where the dark cloud was growing larger. "The real war begins." 1 week after the discovery in Antarctica, Jin Hyunwoo became the first human to fully transform. Jin was a college student from Seoul who had been very close to a Draconian ship when it vanished. Since then, he had experienced the strongest changes of anyone on Earth. The alien researchers invited Jin to their lab to study his condition. Dr. Williams and Naga were there to monitor him. "Tell us about your dreams, Jin," Dr. Williams asked gently. "I see stars," Jin said. "Not just any stars, but places I've never seen. And I understand things now. Big things about the universe that no human should know." As Jin spoke, something strange began to happen. His skin started to glow with a soft blue light. His voice remained calm as the light grew brighter. "It's happening again," he said, "but stronger this time. I'm not afraid." Everyone in the room stepped back as Jin's body began to change. He became transparent, like a human-shaped window into a sky full of stars. His feet floated off the ground. "Are you in pain?" Naga asked with concern. "No," Jin's voice echoed, though his mouth no longer moved. "I feel complete. I remember who I am now. And who are you? Dr. Williams asked. I am a watcher, one of the guardians placed inside human form by the progenitors. Jin's form expanded, growing larger until he filled half the room. Inside his transparent body, stars and galaxies seemed to move and swirl. The humans you know are vessels, living homes for beings like me. We were placed here to guard against the Dark Ones. The darkness from the progenitor records, Xel'Naga said. Yes, they consume reality itself, turning it into something that doesn't belong in this universe. The Draconians were already infected, their minds controlled by the Dark Ones. We removed them before the infection could spread to Earth. Removed them where? Asked General Chen, who had just entered the room. To a place between dimensions where the Dark Ones cannot reach them. We hope to heal them eventually. Jin's glowing form grew even larger, and the walls of the room seemed to bend around him. Others will follow me soon. The awakening is happening faster than planned. We were supposed to emerge slowly over many centuries, but the attack forced us to wake early. Is that dangerous? Dr. Williams asked. Yes, Jin admitted. Many humans will struggle with the change, and the Dark Ones now know we are here. They will come in force. How do we stop them? General Chen asked. Together, Jin said, humans, watchers, and the Galactic Conclave must stand united. The Dark Ones fear this most of all. Different beings working as one. Before anyone could ask more questions, Jin's body collapsed into a small point of light, then vanished with a soft pop. Where did he go? Chen asked, staring at the empty space. I don't think human words can describe it, Xel'Naga said quietly. But I believe he's still watching over us, and others will soon follow his path. Dr. Williams looked at her own hands, which had begun to glow faintly. It's beginning, she whispered. For all of us. News of Jin's transformation spread quickly throughout the Galactic Conclave. Some alien civilizations were frightened by the power humans showed. Others were curious. But all of them understood that something big was happening. Xel'Naga called an emergency meeting of the Conclave High Council. Representatives from 500 different alien civilizations gathered in a massive space station far from Earth. We face a crisis unlike any before, Xel'Naga told the gathering. The humans of Earth are not what they appear to be. They are vessels for ancient guardians created by the progenitors. Many aliens whispered among themselves. The progenitors were just legends to most of them. Some of you want to destroy Earth before these guardians fully awaken, Xel'Naga continued. But I believe this would be a terrible mistake. The guardians were created to protect all life from a greater enemy, the Dark Ones. A tall, thin alien with gray skin stood up. These are just old stories. We should contain the human threat before. The alien never finished speaking. The large screen behind Xel'Naga suddenly turned on by itself. It showed a star system at the edge of the galaxy. As everyone watched, the stars in that system began to dim, then vanish one by one. What are we seeing? Someone asked. This is happening right now, Xel'Naga said gravely. The star system Vorn 7 is disappearing. More screens turned on around the room. They showed other star systems vanishing in the same way, not exploding or dying, just fading away as if they had never existed. The pattern of these disappearances forms a line, Xel'Naga said, showing a map of the galaxy. He traced his finger along a path of missing stars, and that line points directly to Earth. Back on Earth, Dr. Williams was experiencing strange visions. She saw the same stars disappearing, felt the emptiness where they had been. She called General Chen immediately. It started, Williams said when Chen arrived at the lab. The Dark Ones are coming. They're consuming everything in their path. How long do we have? Chen asked. Maybe 3 months before they reach Earth. They're moving faster than before. More humans were transforming every day. Not as completely as Jin had, but changing in smaller ways. Some could move things with their thoughts. Others could see far distances or heal wounds. A few could even travel instantly from one place to another. Dr. Williams herself could now read the thoughts of others and understand any language instantly. She gathered these changed humans together to prepare for what was coming. The Draconians were just scouts, she explained to them. Infected pawns sent to test us. Now the real enemy is coming. General Chen worked with the military forces of Earth, preparing as best they could. But how do you fight something that can make entire stars disappear? We need help, Chen told Naga when he returned from the conclave meeting. What did the other civilizations decide? They're divided, Naga admitted. Some want to help, others want to run and hide. But more are coming around to our side now that they've seen the threat. Will it be enough? Chen asked. Naga looked up at the night sky, where fewer stars now shined. I don't know, he said honestly. But humanity's awakening may be the only hope any of us have. 2 months passed. The Dark Ones continued their advance through the galaxy, consuming more stars as they came. 1 month remained before they would reach Earth. Jin had returned, now able to shift between his human form and his Watcher form. He worked with Dr. Williams and other changed humans to prepare for the coming battle. We need to connect with more of our kind, Jin told a room full of partially transformed humans. The Watchers inside you are still waking up. We must help them remember who they are. Jin placed his hands on the head of a young woman named Sarah. His fingers glowed with blue light. Remember, he said softly. Remember who you truly are. Sarah gasped as memories flooded her mind. Memories not from her human life, but from the guardian being inside her. She saw the progenitors, ancient and wise, creating the Watchers. She saw the first battle with the Dark Ones millions of years ago. I'd remember, she whispered. Her eyes glowed with the same blue light as Jin's hands. Across Earth, more humans were remembering their true nature. Some fought against the change, afraid of losing their human identity. Others embraced it, understanding that they weren't losing themselves but becoming more complete. In space, the Galactic Conclave had finally united. Over 3,000 alien ships gathered near Earth, the largest fleet ever assembled. They knew conventional weapons would be useless against the Dark Ones, but they came anyway, hoping the awakening Guardians would find a way to save them all. Naga met with Earth's leaders on the orbital platform. My people will fight beside yours, he promised. All the peoples of the Conclave will stand with Earth now. General Chen nodded gratefully. We need every ally we can get. But Jin says this won't be a normal battle. It will be fought across dimensions, in ways we can't even understand. Then we will trust the Guardians to lead us, Naga said, and we will do whatever we can to help. Meanwhile, Dr. Williams had made a breakthrough at the Antarctic base. Working with the ancient progenitor technology, she found a way to speed up the awakening process safely. The Watchers need to be fully awake when the Dark Ones arrive, she explained to General Chen. Otherwise, we won't have enough power to stop them. Is it dangerous? Chen asked. Yes, Williams admitted, but not as dangerous as facing the Dark Ones unprepared. Volunteers came forward, thousands of humans willing to undergo the accelerated awakening. In special chambers built using progenitor designs, they connected with the Guardians inside them. Some emerged unchanged, their Guardians still dormant, but many came out transformed, their eyes glowing with inner light, their minds expanded beyond human limits. Jin and Sarah led these awakened Guardians in preparation for the coming battle. The Dark Ones exist in multiple dimensions at once, Jin explained. That's why normal weapons can't hurt them. But we exist in those same dimensions. We can fight them on their own terms. As the days counted down, Earth changed. Humans and Watchers worked together, their dual nature becoming a strength rather than a division. They were still human, but also something more, exactly as the progenitors had designed them to be. 1 week before the expected arrival of the Dark Ones, the first tendrils of darkness appeared at the edge of the solar system. The final battle was about to begin. The Dark Ones arrived at the edge of Earth's solar system, not as ships or creatures, but as a wave of wrongness that made the very fabric of space bend and twist. Stars dimmed as they passed. Planets shuddered. Reality itself seemed to break down in their presence. The Conclave fleet moved to intercept them, though the alien leaders knew their weapons might be useless. Still, they had to try. All ships, attack formation. Admiral Zorval of the Conclave ordered. Fire when ready. 3,000 ships fired their most powerful weapons at the approaching darkness. Energy beams, plasma torpedoes, and quantum disruptors lit up space in a dazzling display of firepower. For a moment, it seemed to work. The darkness paused its advance. Then the weapons fire simply disappeared, absorbed into the darkness, and the Dark Ones continued forward, faster now. Fall back to Earth. Zorval ordered. We need the Guardians. On Earth, Jin and the other awakened humans felt the approach of the darkness. They gathered at key points around the planet. 10,000 fully transformed Watchers and many more partially awakened humans. Dr. Williams and Jin led the largest group at the Antarctic base. It's time, Jin said, his body already shifting to his Watcher form. Remember your training. Don't fight them in physical space. Reach into the spaces between dimensions. Dr. Williams, now half transformed herself, nodded. Her skin glowed with blue light as she connected with the Watcher inside her. Together, she said to the gathered Guardians, we are stronger together. As the Dark Ones entered Earth's atmosphere, the Watchers rose to meet them. To normal human eyes, it looked like streams of blue light flying up from the planet. But those with awakened vision could see more, vast beings of energy and consciousness spanning multiple dimensions at once. Jin led the first attack, extending his awareness into the realms where the Dark Ones truly existed. There, they weren't just darkness, but ancient hungry consciousness that devoured reality itself. Hold the line, Jin called to the other Guardians. Create the boundary. The Watchers formed a network around Earth, their combined power creating a shield not in physical space, but in dimensional space. The Dark Ones pushed against it, seeking weak points. Some Conclave ships were caught in the conflict. From their perspective, it looked like parts of their ships simply ceased to exist, erased from reality. Others reported seeing impossible things, spaces that were bigger inside than outside, objects that existed and didn't exist at the same time. What's happening? General Chen asked from the command center, where she could only see strange lights in the sky. A war beyond our comprehension, Selnega explained. The Guardians and Dark Ones are fighting across multiple dimensions. What we see is just the shadow of the true battle. For 3 days, the battle raged in skies above Earth. The Watchers held their line, but they were being pushed back. More humans transformed to join the fight, but the Dark Ones were ancient and powerful. We can't just defend, Jin told the other Guardian leaders during a brief respite. We need to attack them at their source. How? Asked Sarah, now fully transformed herself. Jin looked up at the swirling darkness above them. We need to go into their realm, a small team. Strike at their core consciousness. That's suicide, Williams said. No, Jin replied. It's why we were created. The progenitors made us for exactly this purpose. And now it's time to fulfill our destiny. Jin assembled a small team for the dangerous mission. Himself, Dr. Williams, Sarah, and 7 other fully awakened Guardians. Together, they would enter the realm of the Dark Ones. Our physical bodies will remain here, Jin explained to General Chen and Selnega. But our true selves will travel to the heart of the darkness. How will you find your way back? Chen asked, worried. We've created anchor points, Williams explained, showing small crystal devices they would wear. These will help us return to our bodies when the mission is complete. If you succeed, Selnega said. When we succeed, Jin corrected with a smile. The team gathered in the central chamber of the Antarctic base. As the other Guardians maintained the defensive shield around Earth, Jin's team prepared for their journey. Remember, Jin told his team, in their realm, thought becomes reality. Your will shapes what happens there. Stay focused on our mission. They lay down in a circle, hands joined. Their bodies began to glow, then became still as their consciousness separated and traveled along the connections to the Dark Ones. To observers, nothing seemed to happen. But in another dimension, the team entered a realm of pure chaos. Here, the Dark Ones weren't just a force. They were a place, a state of being where normal physics didn't work. Stay together, Jin's voice echoed in their minds. Find the center. They moved through impossible spaces, fighting against the pull of the darkness. Strange shapes that couldn't exist in normal space reached for them. Williams created shields of pure thought. Sarah formed paths of light for them to follow. At the center of the darkness, they found its heart, a swirling mass of ancient consciousness that had existed since the beginning of the universe. It's so old, Williams thought to the others. So hungry. And so lonely, Jin added, sensing something unexpected. It consumes because it doesn't know how to create. The 10 Guardians formed a circle around the dark heart. Instead of attacking, Jin reached out with his consciousness. We were made to destroy you, he communicated to the darkness. But perhaps there's another way. The darkness responded with confusion, then curiosity. For millions of years, it had only known how to consume. The idea of another way was new. We offer a choice, Jin continued. Continue as you are, and we will fight until one of us is gone, or allow us to help you change. For long moments, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the darkness began to respond, not with words, but with feeling. Acceptance. The Guardians joined their powers, not to destroy the darkness, but to transform it. They poured their energy into the dark heart, reshaping it from a force of destruction into something new. Back on Earth, people watched in amazement as the sky changed. The darkness that had threatened to consume everything began to glow with new stars being born. What's happening? Chen asked as XL Naga as the darkness transformed into a beautiful nebula. They did it, Zelnaga whispered in awe. They didn't destroy the Dark Ones. They changed them. 3 days later, Jin and his team woke in the Antarctic base. Their mission complete, they had returned to their bodies. It's over, Jin said simply. The Dark Ones are no longer a threat. What did you do to them? Chen asked. We showed them another way to exist, Williams explained. Not as consumers of reality, but as creators. Where the darkness had been, new stars now formed. The energy of the Dark Ones transformed into the beginning of new life. As word spread across the galaxy, other civilizations discovered more dormant guardians on distant planets, other beings created by the progenitors as safeguards. And humanity, forever changed, took its place among the stars not just as another species, but as the awakened guardians who had saved reality itself.